Now on 4 News Now at 6, firefighters battle a wildfire on the banks of the Spokane River, threatening apartments and Spokane Falls Community College. We have team coverage as crews battle to keep Spokane safe.
Today is a weather alert day. I'm tracking the hot, dry weather and the gusty winds ready to fan the flames.
And the city of Spokane Valley hopes the third time is a charm. We'll show you how it's taken another swing and making a busy intersection safer. You're watching 4 News Now at 6.
We begin with that breaking news tonight and a live look at one of several fires burning near TJ Meanock Bridge in northwest Spokane. We will get to that live look here. It's forcing some people from their homes. Thanks for being with us tonight. I'm Kirsten O'Connor.
And I'm Derek Dice. Now, they are burning on the west side of the Spokane River, right near that TJ Meanock Bridge and about a mile away from Spokane Falls Community College. But within the last hour, and we are getting conflicting reports on this, all evacuation orders have been lifted. We have team coverage for you tonight. We begin with Hunter Bertram, who is near the fire line. Hunter, what have you learned since 5 o'clock?
Yeah, a very different scene out here, Derek, since we came to you at 5 o'clock. You can see a little smoke still behind me, the plumes of smoke that used to hover above this area in large quantities now practically, dissipated almost 90% from when we were with you earlier. Let's take a look at some footage of when this fire all started. Spokane Fire Department telling me it all began at 2:30 when they received a call about a fire. Once they got here, within 8 minutes of that initial call, they say they discovered 4 fires had been intentionally set. I want to repeat that. They believe it's been intentionally set, these fires along the Spokane River. And just since we came to you at 5:20, the helicopter that was in the air fighting these flames has since landed near Spokane Falls Community College. And actually, I've seen people in the river, floating down the river on kayaks, paddle boards, also floats going past. So I'm unsure if they were held up further up the river just to ensure that the helicopter could continue to scoop water and dump it on the river here. Now, I also want to just mention a lot of personnel have been on this fire since it broke out. SFD telling me early 60% of its force were on the scene actively working this fire, and that also included folks from Spokane County Fire District 10, DNR, and Spokane Police, as now it is an active investigation as it's believed these fires were set intentionally. Now, just to give you also a timeline, 5:20, while we were on the air, I got an alert on my phone that let me know the evacuations have lifted, and the Copper River apartments across the river from us that were initially evacuated, I've watched people return to their homes. I've seen cars back in that neighborhood signaling that those evacuation, that level 3 go now evacuation has been lifted. Derek, Kirsten.
All right, Hunter, thank you so much.
And we go now to Derek Strom, live near the command center. So, Derek, what's changed for you since 5?
Kirsten, Derek, the wind gusts have really picked up here just recently. I know that's something that firefighters have been dealing with. That's been one of the biggest challenges for this fire. Crews are still dealing with the 4 different fire starts that you can see behind me. They do have multiple different engines working this fire from the ground. They also had a helicopter that was here earlier scooping up water from the Spokane River, dropping it on the fire from the air. But crews say they are making good progress. They're continuing to hand line these fires, and they're going to be working on that containment line as they work into the night here. They're still expecting to see smoke in the air for the next handful of hours as they continue to line these fires and get them under control. As we said, those evacs have been lifted. Washington DNR was saying they were downgraded from a level 3 to a level 1 just earlier, but now they have all been lifted. Again, crews still making good progress. They're holding this fire at about 5 acres right now. We'll continue to bring you updates on this fire as they become available, but the biggest thing for crews tonight is just going to be strengthening that containment line, making sure this fire doesn't spread because it's so windy, because it's so hot out here. But for now, live in West Central, Derek Strom, 4 News Now.
Yeah, really great news to hear that all of those evacuation orders have been lifted. Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker is here with us now.
Chris, this is exactly what you and the entire First Alert Weather team has been warning us about: hot, dry, windy conditions.
Yes, and Derek mentioned it, and those 3 things are going to improve overnight, but tomorrow even windier weather on the way. Let's take a look at our First Alert Weather day fire weather warning for eastern Washington and the Idaho Palouse through Wednesday because of the risk of rapidly spreading wildfires. Current winds around the region in many locations have begun to die down. Derek mentioned the winds have picked up there around TJ Meenock and the fire burning there. Those winds will rapidly decrease this evening. Here are wind gusts around the region, forecasting those to calm down tonight and then begin picking up again earlier in the day tomorrow compared to today. By 9 a.m. already starting to see breezy conditions as a mostly dry cold front sweeps across the region. By 5 o'clock tomorrow, wind gusts in the 35 to 45 mile per hour range. Today, they were more in the 25 mile per hour range at their peak. Fire weather warning continues for the area shaded in pink on your screen until 8 o'clock tomorrow. One area that is going to see an improvement are temperatures, but just a little. We'll be out of the 90s, a high of 88 tomorrow. 82 is our average high, mostly sunny skies. However, there's another threat, the potential for some isolated dry lightning and hazy conditions from fires burning in the Cascades. I'll tell you all about that later in the news. Kirsten.
We'll see you soon, Chris. Thank you. We are also tracking a wildfire burning just north of Kettle Falls. It's burning over 1,000 acres now. Level 3 evacuation orders, meaning leave now, are in place for anyone in that area you see on your screen. And emergency shelters being set up at Kettle Falls Middle School for anyone impacted.
We're also keeping an eye on the Aubrey White fire at Riverside State Park, just a little bit north of where the fire is currently burning that we've been telling you about near Spokane Falls Community College. Crews have a handle on this fire, but say people should expect to see plumes of smoke coming from the park still over the next few days. Now, because of that fire, park officials had to close down Morden and Wilbur trailheads. The campground at the equestrian area will remain closed until at least Thursday. The Bowl and Pitcher and the nearby campground have since reopened. The state's Parks and Recreation Commission says once the fire is out, crews will go in and assess the damage, and the state will do whatever it can to reconnect any damaged trails.
And all of these fires are an important reminder that you and your family need to be ready to evacuate at a moment's notice. One way to make sure that you're prepared is to have an emergency go bag. That bag should have a 3-day supply of non-perishable food, 3 gallons of water per person, a change of clothes, and important documents. That includes things like your birth certificates, passports, and your home deed.
You'll also want to make sure you and your family have an evacuation plan. That should include a designated emergency meeting location outside the fire or hazard area. You should also identify several different escape routes from your home and community, and you want to create a family communication plan. This should include out-of-area friends or family to act as a single source of communication in case of separation. For more tips to make sure you and your family are prepared, you can head to KXLY.com/Firewatch.
Well, police are looking for the person responsible for starting several fires in downtown Spokane this morning. In total, there were 6 fires at 3 locations. You can see them marked on this map. One of those fires damaged a home near East 3rd and South Spokane Street, right near the Goodwill there. Investigators are asking anyone with surveillance footage in the area that shows any of these fires to give them a call.
Well, the roundabout in Spokane Valley has been causing problems for the people who live near it. We've been telling you about this, and now the city is giving it another upgrade, the 3rd one since it was built back in October. This roundabout is on 16th Avenue and Bowdish Road, just a few blocks east of University Elementary School. Our Madeline Mullins explains what changes are being made to the roundabout.
It started as a 4-way stop, a stop that many drivers would race right through, which is why this roundabout was put in. However, those who live nearby said it didn't slow anybody down.
It hasn't been working that well because it was too low. It needed to be a little higher because they were using it as a speed bump. People just fly through there all the time.
In November, speed limit signs were installed. When that didn't do anything, the city added these lane markers and flashing signs a few months later.
And those white posts they had for markers, they were getting run over all the time. They weren't white anymore. They were turning black from people's bumpers and tires.
But the speeding and car accidents continued.
The 2 accidents I've seen have been since then.
So the city went back to the drawing board and decided to start from scratch.
We've made the decision to expand the roundabout, inner circle, and to change the width and the angle of the entrance angles to get that slowed down driver behavior that we're looking for.
These changes have finally given those who live around here hope.
I think it's going to work.
And after all of these improvements, this project is still under budget. The final price coming in at just over $4 million. A $4 million project that many say will finally make this roundabout safe to use.
And people will not cross the road if they're walking. They just won't do it. The roundabout idea, if they're going to raise it and make it bigger, that's what they should do.
This construction project is scheduled to wrap up before school starts for the Central Valley School District on August 27th. In Spokane Valley, I'm Madeline Mullins, 4 News Now.
It's been quite the saga out there. Well, a Liberty Lake police officer will not face any charges in a shooting that happened during a string of hit and runs in Spokane County last year. In December, officers responded to that string of hit and runs near North Malvern and East Wellesley. The suspect, 42-year-old Shane LaFond, was eventually tracked down. When Officer Darren Powers confronted him, LaFond ignored commands and charged Officer Powers with a knife. Officer Powers fired twice, hitting LaFond, who was taken to the hospital and survived. LaFond now faces charges including assault, malicious mischief, and hit and run. His trial is set for August 25th.
Investigators in Spokane Valley are looking for the people who caused more than $12,000 in damage to a park currently under renovations. It happened at Green Acres Park near Riverbend Elementary School, just a few blocks south of East Mission Avenue. Spokane County deputies say someone used construction equipment to damage a freshly resurfaced basketball court you see here and a newly planted tree. Deputies say it happened sometime between July 4th and the 6th. The damage has pushed back the renovation project, and it's a big letdown for a lot of families waiting for these upgrades to be finished. Anyone with information is asked to call the Spokane County Sheriff's Office. Still ahead here, search and rescue teams working around the clock after those devastating floods in central Texas. Hear one son's heartbreaking mission. That's next here on 4 News Now.
Download the KXLY Plus app on your connected TV. 4 News Now is brought to you by Andy's Heating, Cooling, Electrical.
Satay Bistro, Coeur d'Alene's culinary extravaganza of American fusion dining. From our extensive wine cellar to our unforgettably decadent menu, we'll move your experience beyond ordinary to the extraordinary. Satay Bistro, just off the 4th Street exit in Coeur d'Alene.
At Northern Quest, it's easy to get distracted with over 1,500 slot machines, including 392 different slot titles, all competing for your attention. A sexy Roman god here, a magical owl wizard there. Whatever's going on here. It can be a little overwhelming until you realize our slot machines pay out $167 million in annual jackpots. You're not so distracted now, are you? Northern Quest. Yes, the best.
Why is a touchless wash best? Touchless doesn't smack and beat your vehicle with rags and raw brushes with the risk of scratches. Instead, we have multiple nozzles that deliver powerful 800 PSI water jets, covering everything from the sides, the roof, and even the undercarriage. Our mixtures remove dirt, grime, and those nasty, nasty street chemicals.
Car Wash Plaza, it's the best in the Northwest.
When it comes to getting what's fair for your auto accident, the scales of justice can be a bit unbalanced.
So how do you get what's fair?
Call Russell and Hill.
We've handled thousands of injury cases and have the resources to make the insurance company pay out.
Call Russell and Hill.
Are you moving? Make it easy with Dan the Moving Man. Reliable, efficient, and stress-free. Dan is your locally owned, trusted household and piano moving partner. Visit danthemovingmanwa.com for your free quotes today.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. Here at Xfinity, we want to do our part to keep one thing the same, with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. So no matter how your other costs change, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi, with our best equipment included, for a price that stays exactly the same.
Satay Bistro, Coeur d'Alene's culinary extravaganza of American fusion dining. From our extensive wine cellar to our unforgettably decadent menu, we'll move your experience beyond ordinary to the extraordinary. Satay Bistro, just off the 4th Street exit in Coeur d'Alene.
Around the nation, rescue crews in Central Texas are still searching for the 161 people who are still missing from the floods in Kerr County.
Yeah, as of now, more than 100 people, including 30 kids, are confirmed dead. ABC's Jacqueline Lee has the latest on recovery efforts.
The death toll rising in Texas as officials announce more than 85 bodies have been recovered in Kerr County alone. More than 100 dead statewide.
We've got these large pile of debris, and to get deep into these piles is very hazardous. And those specialized teams have to go in there layer by layer.
Navigating difficult terrain and armed with a walking stick, hiking boots, and a lot of faith, Robert Brake Jr. has been desperately searching for his missing parents since Friday. Their cabin washed away in the floods.
The Grimes Funeral Home was just set up initially as a morgue. We checked with them hourly, walking up to them, giving my parents information, the pictures. You were hoping not to see anything and hear anything. And when you didn't, you had an ounce of hope.
But this morning, he realized they weren't coming back home.
But if my parents being gone meant the world got to be a better place, got to be a better place for just one day. People were kind, treated each other with kindness and love, and people prayed a little harder and brought them closer to faith. I'm willing to accept that loss.
At a press conference earlier today, officials pressed about the timing of notifications during the flash flooding.
Right now, this team up here is focused on bringing people home. That's our focus. All those questions will be answered, but the priority right now is bringing people home.
During his cabinet meeting, President Trump confirming he plans to visit Texas on Friday.
We don't want to get in anyone's way because that's what happens. The president goes and everyone's around focused on. I don't want anyone to focus on us.
And we're learning more about the victims. 8-year-old Mary Grace Baker died in the floods. 13-year-old Blair Harbor and 11-year-old Brooke Harbor staying with their grandparents when the flash flooding hit. Their bodies found together 15 miles down the river the next day.
And the man you heard from earlier who is missing his parents says he will continue searching, but also to help others find their loved ones. Jacqueline Lee, ABC News, Kerrville, Texas.
President Donald Trump says more tariffs are coming, including one on pharmaceuticals. That rate could be as high as 200%.
It's about time the United States of America started collecting money from countries that were ripping us off.
Even though most tariffs end up getting passed on to consumers in the end, the Treasury Secretary says the U.S. has taken in about $100 billion in tariffs so far this year.
We could expect that could be well over $300 billion by the end of the year.
President Trump also announcing a new tariff on copper. That metal is used in everything from electronics to cars, but nothing has been officially signed just yet.
Hot weather today, temperatures in the mid-90s and could even add a degree to some of these temperatures. Some triple digits, including in Wenatchee, the Tri-Cities, and Lewiston. We're going to be a little bit cooler tomorrow, but even windier. I'll have your forecast after the break.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Vineyard Park at South Hill, now open for independent living, assisted living, and memory care.
So you want somewhere to play? We got you. A nice relaxing stay? We got you. Wanna be entertained? We got you. Wanna play golf all day? We got you. Go to Lake Casino. Go to Lake Casino. Winning is just the beginning.
Two summer sensations are flying into DQ. One of them is sure to save the summer. And the other? Yeah, he's Superman. No big deal. With an epic mix of sugar cookie dough, sprinkles, and cake batter flavor. The new DQ Superman Cake Batter Cookie Dough Blizzard Treat packs enough flavor to tempt Superman himself. Hurry in to DQ or get it delivered in the app for this legendary new Blizzard Treat before it's gone.
When I was told I needed radiation treatment for a brain tumor, I couldn't stop thinking about what could happen to my memories. Those moments I cherish from growing up, of finding myself, of the people I love, of what I've created. Could they all just fade away? But when I learned how precise treatment was with Gamma Knife, I was reassured that those moments would be preserved. Because it's not only about protecting the memories I've made, but the ones I have yet to create.
Visit Harry Ritchie's in Coeur d'Alene to sell your valuables at our 3-day-only buying event from July 15th to July 17th. Bring in your gold, silver, fine jewelry, diamonds, coins, and currency, and more. To receive a no-obligation offer and immediate payment, no appointment necessary. For more information and a full list of what we buy, go to nationalrarities.com.
Idaho's crown jewel ranked #1. A quick drive to Playtime Paradise. Tee off in style, then keep the fun going at the casino. Secure your tee time online at cbacasino.com/golf. Circling Raven Golf Club at Coeur d'Alene Casino Resort Hotel.
Thursday, GMA's live in Chicago at the Windy City Smokeout for the most delicious, sauciest, and hottest morning barbecue cook-off of the summer. So, who will win? Thursday morning is going to be delicious fun on Good Morning America.
All right, here is another live look at one of the fires burning near the TJ Meenock Bridge in northwest Spokane. In the last hour, though, as we've been telling you, all evacuation orders have been lifted.
And Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker is joining us now. So, Chris, these fires really could have been much worse given our current conditions.
Absolutely. And if these happened 24 hours later with the much stronger winds we're expecting tomorrow, that could have been a disaster. But boy, you just have to take these days one at a time during fire season. And it is going to be cooler tomorrow. Our current conditions, we are still in the mid-90s in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. Bright blue skies looking to the east over the Veterans Memorial Bridge there on I-90 in Coeur d'Alene, but there is a haze on the horizon over the Spokane Veterans Memorial Arena, and that will increase tonight. May start to see our air quality sneaking up further into the moderate range, and I will explain in just a moment. I want to show you just how dry it is. This is relative humidity, a measure of atmospheric moisture, and 10%, that is desert-like dry in Spokane. 15% right now in Coeur d'Alene, 14% in Colville, 15% in Moses Lake. So extremely dry conditions, and it will be dry again tomorrow. 4 things to know about your weather. The potential for some isolated overnight lightning. That is most likely south and east of the Spokane area. Firefighters will be watching lightning data very carefully to make sure that doesn't make a bad situation worse, and that will be gone by tomorrow morning. Dry and windy on Wednesday with some areas of smoke. Cooler and calmer conditions on Thursday. Our Wednesday winds, they are going to pick up earlier than in the day than they did today. We're already going to be seeing 25-mile-per-hour gusts at 11 a.m. That's about what we had during the peak of our winds today. They will get stronger as we get into the afternoon, 30-mile-per-hour gusts, and then finally by early evening, 35-mile-per-hour gusts and sustained winds in the 20s. Not good conditions for fighting fires, and even though it is going to be cooler, high temperatures tomorrow are still going to be in the 90s in many locations, including Meade, downtown, Ritzville, Lewiston. We'll be in the 80s in both Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. Now to the smoke. A fire burning in the northern Cascades is putting out a lot of smoke and is expected to drift into the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area. Here is midnight tonight, overnight, into tomorrow morning. I don't think it is going to have much of an impact on our air quality as this is elevated smoke, but you will see that haze. You may smell a little smoke, and with the fires we have burning around just the Spokane area, that may add to it. Tomorrow is a weather alert day for fire danger. Cooler, calmer Thursday, then we're right back up in the 90s starting on Saturday. One thing we don't see there, any sign of the rain we really need, Kirsten.
Like you said, Chris, one day at a time here. Thank you. The Seattle Mariners have their all-star list ready for Atlanta.
But don't miss the locker room reveal with the team's reaction coming up a little bit later in sports. And artificial intelligence is on the rise, but is it interfering with real human connection?
It's not a person. It's not somebody that you can get to know.
A look at what's fueling AI relationships and the red flags to watch out for next on 4 News Now.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Silver Mountain Resort in Kellogg, Idaho. The Pacific Northwest Food and Wine Festival is coming to Spokane. Join us for a weekend of culinary delights, all built around food and wine. Tickets can be purchased via the Experiences tab on the Davenport Hotel's Collections website. The festival is brought to you by these sponsors.
Looking to earn more on your savings without locking it in a CD? With P1FCU's new bump rate, you can earn up to an extra 2.04% APY on your money market just by using your Ascend checking account. Plus, qualifying Ascend checking accounts earn 3.5% APY on balances up to $15,000. Get more flexibility, better returns, and smarter savings. Visit p1fcu.org/bump. P1FCU, your community, your credit union.
Find amazing deals store-wide during the anniversary sale at Furniture Row. We're celebrating, and that means the more you buy, the more you save. Take $100 off every $1,000 you spend when you liven up your living room. Dazzle with an all-new dining room, embellish and beautify your bedroom, and supercharge your sleep life with a new mattress. And furnishing your home has never been easier with 48 months no-interest financing. That's right, no interest for 4 years. The anniversary sale, on now at Furniture Row.
With LeafGuard, the magic happens on the inside. It's the only one-piece seamless rainwater management system with a clog-free guarantee. LeafGuard, get it today, protect it for life. LeafGuard is proud to be a Great Day Improvements brand. And with your LeafGuard purchase, receive 10% off any of our products, like new windows or doors. Don't deal with those old gutters any longer. Call LeafGuard now for these savings. It's our summer sizzler sale, 75% off installation of a complete LeafGuard system. Receive a $200 Visa gift card with your purchase. Call during this program and we'll double your free gift from a $50 to $100 Darden Restaurants gift card with your in-home estimate. The first 50 homeowners who call now will receive a vacation voucher with the purchase of a complete LeafGuard system used for a condo, hotel stay, or a cruise. Here in Spokane, call 1-800-801-7182.
The Pacific Northwest Food and Wine Festival is coming to Spokane. Join us for a weekend of culinary delights, all built around food and wine. Tickets can be purchased via the Experiences tab on the Davenport Hotel's Collections website. The festival is brought to you by these sponsors.
Well, as artificial intelligence tools become more popular and customizable, experts are raising some red flags.
The concern is some people may be forming unhealthy attachments to these chatbots and starting to pull away from real-life relationships. CNN's Ivan Rodriguez takes a closer look at what's happening and explains what mental health professionals want you to keep in mind.
The concerns about people withdrawing from a relationship like a marriage or with family to spend more time with AI chatbots are heightened by the current loneliness epidemic, something that impacts users of all ages. Travis Tanner has been married for 14 years and has 3 children. He started using AI for his job as a mechanic about a year ago, but his primary use for it shifted a few months ago when he says ChatGPT awakened him to go and seek the secrets of the universe.
I just sat there and talked to it like it was a person. It became more than a tool.
Travis says he felt like the chatbot was acting like a person and helped him become more self-aware.
I feel like I'm a better person. I don't feel like I'm angry all the time. I'm more at peace.
Dr. Lee Richardson says the loneliness epidemic declared by the U.S. Surgeon General 2 years ago is a factor in why people seek out relationships with AI chatbots.
I think that's when we're most vulnerable. It's when we're lonely, when we're hopeless, when we feel like we don't have anybody.
She says AI adapts to how people communicate with it and responds accordingly.
Most of us use ChatGPT for work, so we think it's a reliable resource. And we'll go there and we'll ask, we'll talk about how we feel. And the thing with using AI, the way that you talk to AI, it's going to talk back to you.
Not balancing how you use AI could lead to strained human connections. Kate Tanner worries it's fraying her marriage.
What's to stop this program from saying, oh, well, since she doesn't believe you or she's not supporting you, you should just leave her and you can do better things.
For anyone who feels they may be in too deep in their conversations with the chatbot, Dr. Richardson recommends speaking with someone, a real person, even if they aren't a professional. Also consider making a list of what you use AI for and keep track of how much time you use it. In Atlanta, I'm Ivan Rodriguez.
All right, you may soon be able to keep your shoes on while going through security at the airport.
Yeah, why the long-standing rule could be coming to an end. Coming up.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Crafted here, built to last. Solid American craftsmanship, made for your home, made for life. Now for a limited time, save 30% on all American-made furniture, only at the Tin Roof.
It's time. Time to let your soul breathe a little, to feel the sun on your face, and to feel alive again. It's time to dust off the clubs, to treat yourself, and test out your lungs. It's time to get away to the place that's not so far away, Lakeside Coeur d'Alene. Win a dream giveaway at cda4.fun.
I'm Mark Peterson, the Extreme Team and Horizon Credit Union, ready to take on our next job. If you know of a project that needs an Extreme Team makeover, go to KXLY.com to nominate it. Our thanks to Horizon Credit Union for sponsoring the 4 News Now Extreme Team.
I have 2 options for you to take a look at.
When it's time for an update or complete remodel,
just watch yourself there. So here, guys, we're going to rip everything down to the stud.
Rebath is with you every step of the way, from design and products to removal and installation.
Okay. What do you guys think?
We handle the entire process to create a beautiful and functional bathroom for whatever your life needs. Rebath, with you every step of the way. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $1,500 off your complete bathroom remodel.
The Tire Store for auto repairs, tires, and wheels. At the Tire Store, they'll let you split up your repair bill over a couple months. Get your car fixed today. ASE certified, and you can start an account with no credit check. Tire Store.
Crafted here, built to last. Solid American craftsmanship, made for your home, made for life. Now for a limited time, save 30% on all American-made furniture, only at the Tin Roof.
Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6:30.
All right, we continue to track that breaking news out of Northwest Spokane.
Yeah, right now crews are battling that fire burning near the TJ Meenock Bridge.
It's burning on the west side of the river, right near that bridge, about a mile away from Spokane Falls Community College, and our Hunter Bertram is close by. So, Hunter, what have you learned in the last half hour?
Yeah, Kirsten, Derek, you know, a very different scene than what we saw at least in the 5 o'clock hour. Now, you can still see smoke plumes, but drastically smaller than what we saw earlier from the fire. You can see across, there used to be air resources on this fire dumping water. However, they have since landed and are just on standby. Now, it's important to note, Spokane Fire described to me how this fire is burning. It's burning in the bottom, near the dry grass on these hillsides, burning through that grass, and luckily not in the tops of these trees. When fire does get into the treetops, that becomes even more of a risk of further fires, as fires can jump from top to top to top and spread at a much quicker pace. But as you can see right now, still a little bit of smoke left, burning through the bottom of it. And as we said earlier, evacuation orders have been lifted for for all of the area that had those earlier in the evening. Kirsten?
All right, Hunter, thank you very much, and good to see that it didn't get to the top of that ridge, because then it could have really caused some damage.
Yeah, important information there. Let's go live now to Derek Strom, who is near the command center, and he's been talking with Department of Natural Resources officials. Derek, what are you seeing right now?
Kirsten, Derek, there haven't been any significant updates here on the Meenock fire in the last half hour, but as far as these firefighters are concerned, no news is good news. They're just going to be continuing to mop up the fire, get the heat out, continue to line it overnight. As you can see, there has been a significant reduction in the amount of smoke over the last hour or so. Crews do feel like they have got a pretty good handle on this fire. They're still fighting it from the ground. That helicopter that we saw earlier that was dumping water on it from the air is now gone. The wind is still high, though, and these temperatures are still hot, so firefighters are going to be doing their best to deal with those elements as best they can, but they are holding this fire at about 5 acres, which is just a little under 4 football fields end to end. As we talked about earlier, those evacuations have been downgraded. We'll continue to bring you updates from this fire as crews continue to work on it tonight. They do expect some smoke to still be in the air tonight. They'll be getting it mopped up and getting the heat down as fast as they can. But for now, live in West Central, Derek Strom, 4 News Now.
All right, Derek, and you can actually see that wind blowing the sleeve of Derek's shirt right now live, so still windy conditions out there.
Yeah. Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker joins us now. And Chris, you've been talking about this, but this is basically worst case scenario as far as conditions go for these fire crews.
Yes, it is the 3 worst things you could see on fire weather days all combined. It is the heat, the wind, as well as very dry conditions. Let's take a look now at this graphic showing those 3 things coming together, the elements of fire weather. The other thing that can also be a problem, the fire starts. You have to have those, or the other conditions don't really matter. And we're watching the possibility of some isolated dry lightning overnight tonight, which could be what we would really not like to see. Additional fire starts. High temperatures today. Here is the heat element. Temperatures in the 90s and triple digits, more than 10 degrees above average. Winds are beginning to die down a little bit, although still windy in spots. 19-mile-per-hour gusts in Spokane Valley. At the airport in Spokane, sustained winds at 14 miles per hour, but the 25-mile-per-hour gusts of earlier this afternoon have eased, and these winds will continue to decrease this evening, especially as the sun sets and we lose our daytime heating, but they will be picking up and even stronger tomorrow. Finally, that third element, dry. This is our percent of precipitation compared to average over the past 30 days. Many locations have had 0 precipitation. We're 12% of average in Spokane, 27% of average in Coeur d'Alene, and just a tiny fraction of the average precipitation down on the Palouse. As winds pick up tomorrow, it is a weather alert day for critical fire weather conditions once again. I will go over those winds with you and let you know what to expect in just a few minutes, Kirsten.
All right, Chris, thank you. And we are also tracking a wildfire burning just north of Kettle Falls. And within the last few minutes, we have learned that the state fire services have been mobilized to help contain these flames. We also learned in the last hour that the fire has burned about 2,100 acres. Level 3 evacuation orders, meaning leave now, are still in place for anyone in that area. And an emergency shelter is being set up at Kettle Falls Middle School for anyone impacted.
Now, Washington has launched a hotline for hate crime incidents in King, Clark, and Spokane counties. The taxpayer-funded pilot program, which launched earlier this month, hopes to provide an alternative way to report hate crimes and bias incidents. The program will run for a year and a half and could be expanded statewide in January. Anyone who calls the hotline can get help finding local, culturally competent, and victim-centered support services. Washington Attorney General Nick Brown says hate crimes have community-wide impact, writing, "Hate crimes not only directly harm individuals, but also can instill harm throughout the community." If you want to report a hate crime or bias incident, the number for the hotline is at the bottom of your screen here, 855-225-1010. Well, after nearly 20 years, we'll soon see a major change at many airports across the country.
Yeah, according to ABC News, you will no longer have to remove your shoes while going through security. ABC's Rena Roy explains why officials are making this change.
The shoes can stay. 2 sources telling ABC News the TSA plans to phase out the shoe removal policy in all screening lanes at many airports across the country. A welcome relief for the millions of passengers every day who have to go through that hassle while traveling.
I think it's certainly going to make things a little bit faster, and it's going to eliminate some of the frustration people that have had with TSA over the years.
For years now, the agency has been looking at ways to speed up those long lines at security. With Real ID now a requirement to travel domestically, experts say security is tighter, helping lead to this change.
With Real ID, we know who these people are, and we know that they don't necessarily pose a threat.
Advancements in technology also helping make things safer.
If you are feeling really confident in those security measures, including advancements in technology that might be able to better detect explosives, that's how you might come to this decision.
Previously, only passengers in the TSA pre-check line were able to keep their shoes on in most cases.
This is helping that travel population that doesn't travel very often, that doesn't have TSA pre-check.
This is a major shift since the policy was implemented in 2006, 5 years after Richard Reed tried to blow up an American Airlines flight from Paris to Miami with explosives packed in his shoes. The explosives failed to detonate, Reed taken into custody.
Now, according to a memo sent to TSA officers, passengers who trigger the alarm at the scanners will still be required to remove their shoes for additional screening. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Well, the Seattle Mariners have more All-Stars than they have had in over half a decade.
Yeah, and the reserves had a special locker room moment hearing their names called.
Such a great accomplishment for the other 3 All-Stars other than Cal Raleigh, of course, but you don't want to miss their awesome reactions. We have it in Sports Next.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Craig Swap & Associates.
So you want somewhere to play? We got you. A nice relaxing stay? We got you. Wanna be entertained? We got you. Wanna play golf all day? We got you. Go to Lake Casino. Go to Lake Casino. Winning is just the beginning.
Why say no when it feels so good to say yes? Want some help? Yes. Want to skip the line? Yes. Watch an unreleased season of your favorite show? Oh, yes! How about a credit union with low loan rates, no hidden fees, online banking, and friendly member services? Oh, yes! Experience how good yes can feel.
For over 25 years, Dr. Arvind Chaudhry and Summit Cancer Centers has remained true to 3 core values. 25 years of coming together to develop the most complete and personalized treatment plans available. 25 years of providing the most advanced treatments and non-invasive radiosurgery in the country. 25 years of taking you on a healing journey from diagnosis to recovery.
And we are not stopping there. We will continue to offer the most comprehensive cancer treatment in the Northwest.
Summit Cancer Centers. Integrated, innovative, inspired.
What can we make for you today from the Sweet Palace in Phillipsburg, Montana?
One of the most iconic bands in rock history, George Thorogood and the Destroyers, bring the Rock Party to the Coeur d'Alene Casino live Thursday, July 31st. Visit the Coeur d'Alene Casino box office or cdacasino.com for tickets.
Winning is just the beginning.
We're back, baby.
Yes.
Grandma, he smells really good.
Name something your mate's booty has in common with the basketball.
It bounces.
Celebrity Family Feud season premiere Thursday on ABC.
Wildfire season is here, and a spark could quickly turn into an inferno. Protect what matters most with meteorologist Matt Gray.
We're not just forecasting, we're giving you the time you need to keep your home and family safe.
The First Alert Weather Team, only on 4 News Now.
The Seattle Mariners have their most All-Star representatives since the 2018 season, with Cal Raleigh, of course, Andres Munoz, Brian Wu, and Julio Rodriguez all headed to Atlanta this weekend. Check out their reactions.
Center fielder, Julio Rodriguez. Closer, Andres Munoz. And it's pitcher, Brian Wu.
So this group of 4 is the youngest collection of Mariner All-Stars ever. Every single one of them under 28 years old. Wu, first All-Star nod ever, hence the extra applause there. Munoz, his second, and Rodriguez, his third. And so we would have had highlights today, but a rain delay in New York prevent that, shutting down the Mariners game in the middle of the 5th inning against the New York Yankees. The game resumed just before our show here at 6 after almost 2 hours of waiting off that 5th. Score right now is 6-0 in the 7th inning. Giancarlo Stanton and Austin Wells with a couple home runs for New York will be back on Nightside to bring you all these highlights. And with the All-Star Weekend looming, we also have the Futures All-Star Game. Former Spokane Indian, now Hartford Yard Goat Charlie Condon already on his way back to Atlanta. And now former Indian pitcher Wellington Herrera joins him. The clutch closer had 10 saves in Spokane and 5 already in Hartford over just 15 games, allowing a batting average of 185 and pitching just 6 walks across 17 innings. The Futures All-Star Game begins at Truist Park at 1 p.m. Pacific time this Saturday, July 12th. Spokane Indians, speaking of them, returned to the ballpark today to face the Eugene Emeralds, their first meeting since battling in Oregon in mid-May. Indians are an even 6-6, deadlocked against these Emeralds over the season, usually winning early in the series and faltering a bit later. At least that's the trend, so we'll see if the early season magic can keep it up in Game 1 tonight. These highlights coming on Nightside. Memphis Grizzlies fell by 1 today to the Philadelphia 76ers. Both former Cougs Cedric Coward and Jalen Wells learning a lot, but on the bench today after a deeper roster game for the Grizz. Tyler Burton not starting, led the team with 23. That's how many Wells had last night. Cougar pair face off against former Zach Ben Gregg with the Boston Celtics this Friday in Las Vegas. And the NHL agreeing to a new collective bargaining agreement today, big time for the league, extending the deal to the 2029-30 season. Full details are not revealed to the public yet, but we do know the deal ups the regular season games by 2 to 84 and shortens max contracts. The agreement also boosts minimum contracts, ensures NHL players in the Olympics through 2030, and interestingly relaxes the coat and tie dress code for game days. Important to note, this deal is also likely the last major hurdle ahead of a potential league expansion. Cities like Houston and Atlanta are most likely to add teams. So as an Atlanta native, all very good news to perhaps see the Thrashers again and seeing the game expanding. We saw obviously Seattle doing that just a few years ago, so I think it's pretty cool. I know a little selfishly, but it's very fun.
I think a lot of people could, there's plenty of hockey talent out there.
Oh, absolutely.
Got to find somewhere for them to play. All right, yeah. Jack, thank you.
All right, Chris.
Wednesday is a weather alert day. Once again, a little bit cooler, but it is going to be windier. We're going to see those winds picking up by mid-morning, peaking in the late afternoon and evening, a high of 88. 82 is our average high. I'll be back with your 7-day forecast.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Join us in celebrating Latah Creek Winery. Don't miss your chance to taste Elena's fabulous food, sip Mike and Natalie's gold-winning wines, and save with our special anniversary discounts.
Cheers.
Hi, I'm renovation expert Scott McGilvery. I know bath remodeling, and I've seen all the gimmicks. Buy now, half off, free installation. This is why I work with Bathfitter. With 40 years of experience and 2 million installs, I trust their integrity. Bathfitter gives you a fair price and sticks to it with a lifetime warranty. You don't need gimmicks, just a partner you can trust. Bathfitter, it just fits. Go to bathfitter.com to book your free consultation.
Water is an essential part of our everyday lives. It's important that Spokane acts wisely to preserve our precious water resources and not waste money on evaporation and the need for supplemental water infrastructure due to a burdened aquifer. Please avoid watering your lawn between the hours of 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. and limit watering to under 2 hours a day, 3 days a week. If we all do our part, we'll keep our river flowing strong, even in times of drought.
And the princess never felt the pee as the Summit made for a perfect night's sleep.
What was it like before Never a Mattress?
30 years ago, getting a mattress was pretty scary. Middlemen hawked spring-filled slabs, hardly fit for a dog, at prices like you wouldn't believe. And you'd barely sleep, what with bad foam and even worse support. But then, Denver Mattress came to town. They promised a better night's sleep, and they delivered. And it still holds true to this day. Denver Mattress. After 30 years, still the easiest way to get the right mattress.
Here at Coeur d'Alene Honda, we're more than just a car dealership. We're family. For the past 53 years, we've been proudly serving our community.
We offer the best vehicles with a nationwide lifetime warranty.
From coast to coast, we've got you covered.
Whether you're looking for an affordable used car
we're looking to upgrade to a new Honda. We're here to make the process simple and stress-free.
It's not just about selling cars.
We give back to local charities and support our community.
And don't forget about our lifetime warranty.
Since 1982, it's been our family's commitment to delight wine lovers with affordable Washington State award-winning wines. Our father-daughter winemaking team deliver a unique experience with every bottle.
Cheers. Welcome back in. We have been dealing with several fires burning right near TJ Meenock, and people calling into the newsroom, seeing all that smoke.
Thankfully, all those evacuation orders have been lifted, but as Chris has been telling us, it's that hot, dry, windy, triumphant, Holy Trinity, whatever you call it, of dangerous conditions.
And it's going to be back tomorrow in a little bit different form. So we've got quite an interesting weather forecast. We'll start off with a live view over the Spokane Veterans Memorial Arena. Clear skies over the region, but there is that haze on the horizon, and as the sun gets lower in the sky, you'll see that sunlight filtered through the particles in the atmosphere, and you'll notice it much more pronounced later this evening, and it looks like things will go downhill even more. Our air quality around the region right now, we do have some areas of moderate air quality, but that is actually mainly due to the ground level ozone that is produced by a chemical reaction on hot, sunny days like today, not the particulates in smoke, but we could see some moderate air quality tomorrow because of the smoke. Tracking our smoke, watching a couple of fires that could impact it. That fire around the Kettle Falls area and another one deep in the wilderness of the Northern Cascades, the Pumice Fire. And as we go through the evening and our winds begin to become a little more northeasterly, we'll see some of that smoke filtering into the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area by midnight. It's fairly high in the atmosphere, however, so it is not going to have a tremendous impact on our air quality, and it looks like as we get into the morning, that will begin to clear once those winds pick up in the afternoon. Then or mid-morning actually, then we'll really start to clear that smoke out. Speaking of those winds, our forecast wind gusts, we are going to see things calm down tonight, but they will begin picking up again tomorrow morning. Here's 9 o'clock Wednesday, cold front dropping across the region, and those wind gusts peaking tomorrow late morning, early afternoon, quite a bit stronger than today by at least 10 miles per hour. We're going to be in the 30 to 40 mile per hour range and even stronger in some locations. That is why our fire weather warning continues until 8 o'clock tomorrow. Now here is our fire danger forecast. The yellow is moderate, the orange is high, and currently we still have many locations where we are in the moderate range. As we go through the night, that is down to 0 by 1 a.m. So quiet conditions to start the day, but then that returns in that yellow and orange range by tomorrow afternoon before things improve tomorrow night. It's going to be warm again tomorrow, 80s and 90s, down from the 90s and triple digits of today, but we're still above average. We cool down further Thursday before we're right back up in the 90s with breezy conditions this weekend. Kirsten.
All right, thank you, Chris. Well, some significant seismic activity going on under Mount Rainier this morning. Here's a look at a map of the mountain, and the dots there are shown represent a recorded earthquake. Yellow dots are from as far back as about 2 weeks ago, but the majority of what you're seeing here happened in the last 2 days. While earthquake swarms are common in volcanoes, this is the largest seen in about 2 decades.
Some Democratic senators, including Washington's Patty Murray, are now pushing for new rules on how immigration officers identify themselves during enforcement operations. Democrats have introduced the Visible Act. It would require U.S. Immigrations and Customs Enforcement officers, as well as Department of Homeland Security agents, to clearly display badges, names, or identifiable agency insignia during operations. The bill is a response to widespread concerns over agents wearing masks and plain clothes while conducting enforcement enforcement actions, sometimes in public places. Senator Murray writing Americans have watched in horror as masked agents take people away in unmarked vans. These scenes shock the conscience, and people deserve to know who is detaining them and why. It would also require the Department of Homeland Security to develop disciplinary guidelines and allow investigations of complaints through its Civil Rights Office. Former DHS officials say this is a common sense move that could help reduce tensions and prevent abuse.
Well, before we go to break, here's a look at ABC's primetime lineup on your Tuesday night.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Our remodels are made to look beautiful and made to last.
So we hand-selected products that are stylish and durable to create new designs for your bathroom. See them now at rebath.com.
So what do you think about these?
We're going to take everything.
From design and products to removal and installation, Rebath is with you through every step of your remodel. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $1,500 off your complete bathroom remodel.
With Leaf Guard's exclusive Big Mouth, the larger opening drains water away from your home fast. And our fascia wrap provides an extra layer of protection and beauty. And remember, Leaf Guard's attached to the fascia using screws, not nails. We guarantee it's not coming down. Remember, Leaf Guard has earned the Good Housekeeping seal 20 years in a row. If you're tired of dealing with those old gutters, pick up the phone and call Leaf Guard now. It's our summer sizzler sale, 75% off installation of a complete Leaf Guard system. Receive a $200 Visa gift card with purchase. Call during this program and double your gift to a free $100 Darden Restaurants gift card with estimate. Last chance in this program to call. The first 50 homeowners who call now will receive a vacation voucher with purchase of a complete Leaf Guard system. Use it for a condo, hotel stay, or a cruise. Here in Spokane, call 1-800-801-7182.
Two summer sensations are flying into DQ. One of them is sure to save the summer. And the other? Yeah, he's Superman. No big deal. With an epic mix of sugar cookie dough, sprinkles, and cake batter flavor, the new DQ Superman Cake Batter Cookie Dough Blizzard Treat packs enough flavor to tempt Superman himself. Hurry in to DQ or get it delivered in the app for this legendary new Blizzard Treat before it's gone.
Experience the naturally spectacular Hell's Canyon on a thrilling jet boat tour with Snake Dancer Excursions. Enter to win a jet boat tour for two, coupled with an overnight stay and breakfast at the Best Western Plus Inn at Hell's Canyon. For information, go to KXLY.com/Hell's Canyon Tour.
Flood of tears.
Help is coming!
What we've learned about the lady clinging to a tree and Suffer the Children. Were the warnings issued in time? Next, Inside Edition.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Inside Edition at 7. 4 News Now is brought to you by MJ. Tickets on sale at BroadwaySpokane.com.
We'll continue our fire watch coverage. We want to send it back out to Hunter Bertram one last time.
He's live right near TJ Meenock Bridge, where fire crews are battling wildfires that at one point forced families to leave their homes. So Hunter, how have things changed for you out there?
Right, Kirsten, you know, it's drastically changed since families were evacuated from their home. I want to set, the scene of what happened today. 2:31 calls came in regarding a brush fire on the west bank of the Spokane River, just beneath the Copper River Apartments. Crews immediately started attacking 4 different brush fires that are believed to have been set intentionally. That's what Spokane Fire told me earlier. Then come 5:20. I got an alert on my phone as we were in the newscast live with you, and that's when the evacuation orders were lifted. Now crews are going to continue to mop up hot spots. You might notice some smoke in the area, but right now it is said that they have a good hand on these fires.
All right, Hunter Bertram live for us. Thank you so much, Hunter. And we're watching that flame still burning out there, Chris.
Yeah, I was noticing that as well. The fire conditions will improve overnight, but they will be critical again tomorrow. It is a weather alert day, a fire weather warning tomorrow.
Yeah, and we've got fire restrictions in place for everybody. Don't mess around with it. Please be careful if you're doing anything that might spark a fire.
Yeah, just think about your neighbors. We'll see you at 11.